Welcome, everybody, to the City of Farmers Branch Council meeting for Tuesday, January 7th. Thank you for your patience. Sorry we were a few minutes late. We will start off tonight with our invocation, which is going to be led by Joseph Reigel.
Okay, let's pray. Heavenly Father, first of all, thank you for who you are. And secondly, as busy as you are, I'm amazed that you have an interest in 12 square miles in a city we call Farmers Branch. Thank you. Thank you for calling Terry Lynn to be the mayor of Farmers Branch. May he represent you well as he serves our city and interacts with other cities and government agencies. Give him the wisdom he needs. Our city council representatives, Omar Roman, Richard Jackson, Tina Bennett Burton, David Reed, Roger Neal, worked tirelessly to serve our citizens. I know that you appreciate their efforts. Please encourage them, strengthen their marriages, give them good health, grant them strong relationships. Thank you for calling Ben Williamson to be our city manager. He works hours upon hours serving our city. He needs your wisdom and skill in interacting with the city council, with staff, and with volunteers. Thank you also for calling Kevin McCoy to be our police chief. What a responsibility he and his people have in protecting the citizens of Farmers Branch. Pray that you would likewise protect each of them as they patrol our streets and respond to calls for help. Thank you also for calling Daniel Latimer to be the Farmers Branch fire chief. May he continue to lead and serve his men and women in a way that honors you. Please protect them all as they carry out their responsibilities. Thank you also for the men and women who have been hired at Farmers Branch. These people are assets to our city, and we appreciate the contributions each is making. Thank you also for our many volunteers who serve on boards and commissions, who assist our police and fire departments, who help in any way they can. Lastly, our citizens also need your assistance with medical challenges, finances, relationships. God, we appreciate your commitments to our city. Please be with our city council tonight and in the weeks and months before us. Thank you for loving me. I love you too. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Now, if you would, please stand and join me in the pledges. United States Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now, our state pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. First of all, let me just say, Joseph, thank you very much. That was a very nice prayer, and we certainly appreciate it. Next are ceremonial items, and our first item this evening, item G1, is to recognition of Don Smith for his leadership as part of the Citizens on Patrol program. Wait a minute, he what?
He didn't know he was supposed to.
Nobody, we're having a recognition for him and nobody told him?
And nobody told him.
Oh my God. Okay, I
But
don't,
we have a whole bunch of the Citizens on Patrol staff here. We're all here to honor Don.
I don't know how that happens. Somebody should call him real quick and at least tell him to tune in.
Well, can we postpone it to another night so that he can?
We could do that. We can do that. All right.
Let's do that.
That's like having a party and not telling them the guest of honor.
Will somebody notify him?
Yeah. We'll do it next week or at the next meeting.
Next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, who's going to notify him?
That was my question.
I will call him. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell him.
All righty. Well, we're sorry about that, but we will honor him at the next meeting, which is on the 21st. So these things happen from time to time. Okay. moving on. We have 3 items that all have to do with our Parks Department. And so I'm going to invite Robert Diaz from Parks Department to come up here and be a part of this. The first one is the presentation of the Texas Recreation and Park Society North Region to the City of Farmers Branch Parks and Recreation Department for the 2024 Park Design Excellence Award. The second one is presentation from the Texas Recreation and Park Society North Region to Allie Chambers for the 2024 Part-Time Employee of the Year. And then the third one is the presentation from the Aquatics International Magazine to the Farmers Branch Aquatic Center for their 2024 Best of Aquatics 10-year anniversary edition. So,
Thank you, Mayor. Robert Diaz, Parks and Rec Director. I just want to let everyone know we're going to kind of group all these ceremonial items together. So the first one is the Texas Recreation and Park Society North Region Award for the Park Design Excellence Award, which is for Hoya Park. We just found out actually recently we also have the state award. The regional award through Texas Recreation and Park Society is for this area. So we're competing against, that project was competing against cities like Plano and Dallas and Fort Worth and some of these larger cities. So it was very impressive to get this award. We were able to have a contingent of our staff go to the regional conference in Denton in the fall, and we're presented the award at that conference. So this was our first opportunity to kind of let council and the public know about that award. Of course, Hoya Park has been it is the jewel of our park system. It has become a destination for a lot of those in this immediate area, including with our own citizens as well. So even though it has been presented with many challenges, we've met those, and I think it's become a really key part to our Parks and Recreation system. And I just want to thank it was on tap before I started my tenure here, and it really is the dedication and teamwork and effort of the Parks and Rec staff to put that project together and take it to fruition. We have a few of those here now. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Mark Moffitt, our park superintendent. He's just going to say a few things about it real quick.
I just want everybody to know, especially council, city management, citizens of Farmers Branch, and the guys and gals that work every day here at the city, none of this could be possible without the support from all of y'all. And this is what makes it great when we can build a park, have this come back, and we get to win. And now we're going to go get the state one because we've won it as well. So thank y'all very much with this.
thank you.
And so for these next 2 awards, we'll turn it over to the recreation staff. I've got Jessica Alvarado, our recreation superintendent, and she'll kind of lead these next few awards.
Hello, Paul Macias, Aquatics Manager. Our next one is Allie Chambers, was recognized as the part-time employee with the Parks TRAPS Award, Texas Recreation Parks Society, which is our North Region. So this is all part-time employees. Allie was submitted. She won. She's our aquatic specialist. She does so much for us. She helps with lifeguard training, front desk, and additional training. So we are happy to have her, and she was awarded in November, and we're presenting her the award today.
Jessica Alvarado, Recreation Superintendent. Today I'm going to be presenting the aquatics team with the Aquatics International Magazine, which proudly acknowledged the Farmers Branch Aquatic Center in their 2024 Best of the Best 10-year anniversary edition. This exceptional facility continues to set the standard in providing top-notch services to its residents, offering world-class aquatic experiences that foster community engagement, recreation, and health. Congratulations to Paul, Haley, Cassie, and Allie on the dedication and excellence in service, especially during the trying times of the COVID-19 pandemic.
so they left?
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah. Can she get one with her family real quick? Absolutely, yeah.
Lexi,
You want it in front of? You want me in it or?
Oh, yeah, you can. Here, this way.
Next up are items of community interest.
Thank you, Mayor. So, as you guys can tell from outside, winter has finally arrived. But don't worry, our emergency management team has been hard at work to ensure the city is well prepared for what's coming our way. No matter what challenges the weather may bring, we are here to help our residents. If you have a water leak or a pipe burst, our public works team is your go-to. Power outage, Encore's got you covered. If you suspect a gas leak, don't wait, call Atmos Energy. Our animal services team is ready to help with animal-related concerns. For all other non-emergency related situations, just call star 247. Make sure to keep these numbers on the screen handy, as you never know when you may need them. Mark your calendars for the 2025 State of the City on Tuesday, January 28th from 6 to 8 p.m. right here at City Hall. Come enjoy a video presentation and Q&A session as we discuss key achievements from the past year and what's in store for Farmers Branch's future. Join us on Friday, January 17th at 3:30 p.m. for the grand opening of the Star Center Multi-Sport Athletic Complex. This 81,000 square foot facility has dedicated recreational and competitive play sections, locker rooms, concessions, and spectator decks built for athletes and fans alike. And then, as always, you can sign up for the City e-News at farmersbranchtx.gov or by scanning the QR code up on the screen. Mayor?
Thank you very much. So moving right along, next up are our citizen comments. And let's see, I do have one person who has signed up to speak this evening. Maxwell, I think it's Max Little, okay. Did you fill out a form? Where is it? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Okay. So let me just remind everybody, there's a 3-minute time limit for each speaker with a reasonable limitation on speakers on one topic or item with a maximum of 15 minutes total. Anyone wishing to speak shall be courteous and cordial, no disparaging or inflammatory remarks directed at any member of City Council, city staff, or board or commission will be tolerated. So thank you. And I will remind you, when the light turns green, you've got 3 minutes. Mr. Little.
Good
And
evening.
please state your name and address.
My name is William Maxwell Little. I live at 1117 East Vandergrift Drive in Carrollton, Texas, 7503457. I'm up here tonight to tell you thank you for the first responders and the police officers that have dealt with me for 6 years. As of 6 years, I have finally been able to start going to places to get help. I have finally come to the point where the Lord of my life has taken all of the situations that I've been dealing with that have been handled, and I am blessed to be where I am, not because of me, but because of people like you, Chief McCoy, Britton, Fire Chief. Thank y'all so much. I learned something while I was going through this, and I learned 2 things. First, in order to have a joyous life, you must go through failure. But don't let that failure identify you, because it shows how God sets back can strengthen us. I also believe that now and forever that I think my identity in Christ is even stronger today. My identity in Christ is not because of who I am. It's not because of I'm an important person or the fire chief or anybody or even the president of the United States. There's just the president. That doesn't matter. What matters is if we empty ourselves of everything and let God control our lives to a certain point, then we know that we're full on. God is with us at all times. And also, I realized I ran into an old friend a couple of years ago, and he goes, "Are you Maxwell Little?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I haven't seen you forever." I was like, "Yeah, been through a lot lately." He goes, "Well, you are who you are." And I thought back, I said, am I really who I am? Am I really doing life like I should? Which is born of the Spirit, and born of flesh is flesh. We have to live by the Spirit, not by the flesh. And for a couple of years, I wasn't living by the flesh and I wasn't following the Lord. But as today, I've come to you with a special thank you because I am not having any more episodes. I am having, I get out and run. In fact, I have, as of tomorrow, I have a job that's been given to me by the Lord, and I will be a waiter and busser at Luby's. So I thank y'all, Neil, Richard, all the rest of you. Thank you for your prayers and your support. Thank you for PD for helping me get through this. I can't thank for anything more that I've done. I'm glad. I'm not here because I'm here. I'm here because of y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Jennifer Evans.
Good evening. I just wanted to thank Councilperson Neal.
Name and
My name is Jennifer Evans, 3047 Randy Lane.
Thank you.
I wanted to thank Councilperson Neal because earlier during the City Council study session, item C.4, the discussion about bulk waste placement, that he pointed out how he was he did not want to shut down the Citizens Collection Center, and he posed the possibility of reopening that facility. I wanted to make sure that y'all were aware that the local government corporation meeting that occurred earlier at 3 p.m. had a item number C4 in the agenda, which discussed and considered the authorizing the negotiation and execution of that particular land sale, that property. I did notice that Shane Davis mentioned that there was an application for a different site located in the city, possibly to reopen the Citizen Collection Center. And my final thing is just, it would have been nice if during the proposed budget cuts that the intentions of reinstating those services at a later date were maybe mentioned, because I think it caused a lot of frustration with the citizens, and I know that it seems to have caused issues with you all because of the long discussion regarding repairing and replacing torn up lawns because of either the items left on that property or the green grabber tearing up that property, as well as Mayor Lynn, your concerns about the city looking unappealing because of waste being left outside of people's properties for longer durations than they should be, or just in general. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all of our speakers this evening for citizen comment. Next up is our consent agenda. And we'll entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Very good. We have a motion and a second. We also have a new voting system this evening, and this is going to be the first time that it's be used. So you can see on your screen, motion made by Councilman Jackson, seconded. Passes unanimously. Thank you very much. All right. Next up are our public hearings, and before we get started, I just want to say we have, from time to time, we have council members that bring up certain items, and so when we have discussion on those items, I'm going to start with the council member who brought up that item, and then we will move down the line from my left, your right, starting at District 1, going to 5 for orderly discussion. So that's the way things should happen in the future, just so everybody gets their fair time for speaking. So first up is item K1, conduct a public hearing and consider adopting ordinance number 3902 for a zoning amendment for multifamily development on approximately 10.59 acres located at 1990 Whittington Place within Planned Development District number 88 and take appropriate action. Councilman Reed.
Mayor, I make a motion to table this item to the February 18th City Council meeting.
Mayor, I second the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. If you would. Yeah. So we're tabling it. Okay. And if you would, please indicate your vote to table this item. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Next up is item K2, conduct a public hearing and consider adopting ordinance number 3901 for a zoning amendment for a mixed-use development on approximately 10.18 acres located at 1920 LBJ Freeway and take appropriate action.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Sarah Bergman, Deputy Director of Planning. So this property is best known as the Mercer Boardwalk Development, and Phase 1 construction is complete with 3 restaurant and retail buildings. With this request, the applicant is proposing to modify plans for Phase 2 construction to include a new pickleball development as well as an LED sign. And both of these changes require an amendment to the PD 99 zoning here. So this is the conceptual site layout. You can see the 3 existing buildings on the right here, as well as the pickleball complex proposed on the left with a new bar and restaurant building. The LED signage would be located near the property entrance along LBJ Freeway, and all parking and landscaping was installed with Phase 1 of this development. This is an elevation view of the proposed LED sign. The total height is about 50 feet tall, and the LED area would measure 435 square feet on both sides of the sign. This sign does exceed the maximum dimensions allowed by PD 99 and the city sign code. And right now, PD 99 prohibits electronic signage, which is the reason for this request. The existing and proposed land uses do align with the comprehensive plan, and 1 letter of support has been received from the property owner to the east, which was included in your packet. On December 9th, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval with a few modifications as shown on your screen. And I would like to point out 1 small change to the ordinance that is included in your packet. There's a reference to a section 2K. That's a typo, so we've corrected it to 2B. And with that, I would be happy to answer any questions. The applicant is here tonight as well.
Very good. Thank you very much. We'll start at the end. Councilman Roman.
I had a question from a commissioner from Planning and Zoning, so I just want to make sure I asked for them. I know we received the answer to this, but I believe the items that the developer was responsible for working on in both District 3 and District 1 in the Mercer Crossing area respectively that they're responsible for have been either completed or are basically almost done.
That's my understanding as well. The applicant is here and can provide some more context.
Okay.
Hi, Christopher Zilke with Centurion American. I do believe that all those items have been taken care of or are in progress.
Okay.
As far as I know, everything was. I know there was that last item we discussed about the gate that we were waiting on the HOA to respond to, but to my knowledge, everything has been completed. I believe we are still burying that line, and it's actually, so it's in progress. I believe that's the last of them.
Okay, and I think last time you were here when we talked about this item, we talked about some amount of ability for the city to be able to use it, some limited extent. Is that something that?
Yes, we are still open for, to let the city use the billboard in emergencies or, events, any amount that the city would like to utilize the sign.
Okay, that's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilwoman Bennett?
No questions. Thank you.
Councilman Reed?
Just out of curiosity, is the sign visible from both east and west on 635?
Yes, it is double-sided. It'll be visible from both sides.
Excellent. So it's draw attention to that area that we
Absolutely.
want to promote more business in Farmers Branch.
Yes, sir. We feel it's really a gateway coming into Farmers Branch, driving down the highway to be able to see all the different experiences and opportunities and restaurants, retailers that we hope to get in there, and we believe it'll help really promote and bring attention to Farmers Branch.
Excellent. And one last question. The pickleball courts, are they all outdoor or any covered? Or?
So we actually have two groups that are working on pickleball facilities there. We have two interested groups that are willing to put LOIs. The request right now is simply to allow it as a permitted use. They will still have to come back. They will have some covered, some open space. They would still have to come back and actually submit their plans. Right now, what we have on this proposal is simply to allow it as a permitted use because they don't want to buy or sign a lease or purchase the property without it being allowed as a permitted use.
Okay, excellent. So, and again, something else that's going to draw more people
Absolutely.
into Farmers Branch and to utilize those businesses
Yes,
that are down there.
yes.
Fantastic. That's all I have.
Good. I just wanted to add briefly to what Chris mentioned. If this request is approved, a detailed site plan submission would follow, and that requires council approval as well. So just wanted to clarify.
Okay. Councilman Jackson?
Mayor, I don't have any questions for Chris, but I do have a discussion item. So we're going to close this and bring the discussion back up here, or is now the appropriate time?
We'll go down this, then if anybody in the audience has, since it's public hearing, if they have any comments, if not, then we'll come back.
Okay,
for discussion.
I'll wait till after the public.
Okay, very good, thank you. Councilman Neal?
Thank you, Mayor. A question regarding the pickleball courts.
Yes, sir.
Will they be lighted for evening play, or?
As I said, we don't have an actual plan done yet for it. This is simply to allow it as a use. Once we have the actual user, they would have to submit plans and bring that before council.
Okay.
We do assume that they would be lighted, but I don't have specs because nobody wants to spend the money on the architecture and drawings
Understood.
and everything without
Okay.
knowing that it's a permitted use.
Okay. Only two other things, and that is we have appropriate language regarding the city's utilization of the LED sign. Is that in writing somewhere, or how is that handled?
So we have had discussion with the city attorney's team, and we have a draft statement for your consideration.
I just want to make sure we have something and that Chris and his team are okay with that language, whatever.
Yes, I apologize, the slide isn't showing up here, but I can get it to you. Essentially, the recommendation would be to authorize the city manager to execute an agreement separate from the zoning that would allow for advertising on the sign so that it's not wrapped in with the zoning request.
Okay, and my final question is, what will be the process by which the city to follow if they wanted to get something posted and put onto the LED sign? How does that happen?
Yeah,
Who do we contact? How does it work?
Yeah, we would cover those terms in the separate agreement.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
That's what I was going to answer, and it would be discretion of the city manager.
Great. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Chris, I'm really excited that we're hopefully getting to this point. This is a public hearing. I do not have anybody signed up to speak.
He's not signed up, but I have Mr. Z from Bugatti's.
Okay.
That I brought along from our side.
Good evening, Z. If you would, please state your name and address, just so we know.
Thank you very much. My name is Z Bugatti. I'm the owner of Bugatti Restaurante, just recently opened in Farmers Branch area. Been in the business since 1980. And recently we made that move because I thought the city of Farmers Branch really have such a positive growth going right now. So we thought, let's change the flavor and come to a city where we can bring something to excite the crowd and bring something more positive vibes to the city. And so we are very excited to be part of the Farmers Branch community. And I really admire Murdad to put together and spend tens of millions of dollars to put these wonderful strip centers where we happen to be in that one of the center there. And we also spend pretty good amount of money to be part of the community. And so far we are very excited, and we want to make sure that we bring jobs, tax revenue for the city of Farmers Branch, and give them something that we're very proud for our brand name for the last 40 years in the business plus and continue journey for many years to come, you know. The one thing that we have noticed in the last, this is our 6th week in the business, and most of our customers cannot able to locate us because it'll be very helpful if we can get a proper signage so our customers can easily access to the restaurant. And it's pretty dark at night time, so people mostly pass through us and they keep calling us, Z, I passed through already, how do I do that? So it would be very helpful if we get a proper signage put on, so easy access to the customer. It's all about how you find me. Once you find me, then I keep you for a long time, you know. So we're really looking for that opportunity consider it seriously, that we can definitely let the customer, there's a big sign there, guys, you can look me up, you won't miss anymore, so there's no excuse not to see me, you know. So we're really looking for that opportunity, and it's pretty dark at nighttime. As you can pass through the zone, you will not even see where we are, you know. So something for you all to humbly request to consider that, to give us an opportunity to be part of that signage, please.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for investing in Farmers Branch.
Absolutely. It's the greatest community in Dallas. We're going to take Farmers Branch to the next level, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Mr.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Lee? Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lynn.
I'll entertain a motion to close public hearing.
Mayor, I'll motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to close the public hearing.
Mr. Mayor, I propose a motion to adopt ordinance.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. I'm waiting for that to. Did you vote? There you go. All righty, thank you. Motion passes for closed public hearing. Okay. Now, is there any additional discussion first? Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Mayor. Z, thank you for coming to Farmers Branch. We've been waiting on you. And I'll agree. That area over there is kind of dark right now, and it's still growing. And I think with more development and attention over there, and with some sign and lighting and such, it'll be a lot easier for people to find you. That way you can spend your time greeting customers by name, as I know you do, as opposed to answering the phone and giving directions. So I'm looking forward to this. Mayor, my comments around and I appreciate Centurion's willingness to allow us to use the sign for various events and branding and such. But I hesitate to have an agreement with a private business for the city to use, their marketing and advertising resources for the city's purposes. So I would hope that in any agreement that's drafted, it's very clear, what kind of time, priority, we have brand control, all those aspects. I'm not a marketer, I'm not a sign guy. I'm just trying to think of the city's position here and making sure that, ours is very distinct from the private business owner, and that's all very clear.
Thank you very much. Does anybody else have any other comments? No comments.
All right, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 3902 as written.
3901.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3901.
Thank you.
I'm just going to go home.
Second.
I'm sorry. Just to clarify, if it's as written, it does not include the city manager's designation for the advertisement. So I just want to clarify, as written does not include that.
Yes, that need to be done separately.
May I? I think there's a recommendation by staff that the other option would be to either approve it as is or approve it contingent with that language that we have proposed.
Yep. she's
Would you
putting
mind
it up
reading that
right-
language out
Yep.
to the councilman in case
We're
you
going to
wanted
put it
to?
up right now for you so we can read it as.
Except with modification.
No, he would
There we
just have
go.
to accept with modifications, and then the person who seconded it would have to accept it as well.
Perfect.
Do you want to read that language?
The city manager is hereby authorized to negotiate and sign on behalf of the city an agreement to allow communications related to City of Farmers Branch events to be displayed on such LED sign.
So, Mr. Mayor, let's
Yes.
get this right. Make a motion to accept ordinance number 3901 as modified.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. If you would, please indicate your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Thank you all. All right. We do not have any regular agenda items this evening, and we are still in the middle of one item that needs to be discussed for executive session. So before we go back into executive session, I'd like to, I'll pause the regular meeting, and we will go back and finish our study session right here, resuming with item C6 in just a moment. But I will say, anybody that was here for Don Smith, I apologize for the snafu. We will make sure that he can be here on the 21st, so if you're planning on leaving our meeting now, we will have his celebration on the 21st. So thank you for that. Next up is on our study session, item C6, receive a report and provide direction to the city staff regarding the spot at Myra located at 12150 Medical Parkway.
Hello, Perla Tavera, Director of Economic Development, Tourism and Planning, and I'm going to have Ray Silva as well, Director of Public Works. So this is a spot at Myra. This is an actual rendering of what was being advertised. Oh, sorry, excuse me. So the spot at Myra is located on Myra and Medical Parkway. Here's an overall view shown. This is part of PD 18. This conceptual site plan that was submitted includes 306 units, 3 different subdistricts, A, B, and C. These are the permitted uses for each subdistrict, including office, hospital, medical, dental, multifamily dwelling restricted to independent senior living, and one-family detached dwellings. Here was the initial site plan that was submitted to us. And so City of Farmers Branch infrastructure was just completed in November of 2024, which included paving and drainage in total of $2.2 million, $11,575. Economic Development, Tourism, and Planning had only had one developer contact regarding the site of any interest. So we're just looking for questions and directions in regards to this. I believe this was an action item from council.
Councilman Roman, you requested this item, so.
I'm just wondering, obviously, we're really invested in that property, given that we spent a few $1 million to try and fix some issues there. What progress, if any, has occurred to try and secure a developer or somebody to come and build something there?
So as of right now, I've only had one developer outside of the initial one reach out to me, and we're still kind of in talks.
Okay. And has any information been provided to you by the mayor, council, or anybody up here to explore any leads for development in that area?
No.
Okay, that's it. Thanks.
I'm going to correct you, yes. I provided information to the city manager, which should have been passed on regarding the status of the property, which I received directly from the Market Space CEO. Okay. So, just so everybody knows, there is a legal issue that is taking place between Market Space and Prime Real Estate. Prime, the owner of, the original owner of the property. And since this is now and has been in court, those two parties need to work out their issue in order for anything else to continue. I've been contacted personally by 3 different developers that are interested in coming in and trying to get hold of that property. I have had conversations with Sohail Hassan, who is the CEO of Market Space Capital, along with the city manager. And so we've been apprised of where things are. If you would like to have a copy of that document, the city manager has that, and he can pass that on to you. In addition, I do meet monthly with a representative from Dallas Medical Center, but it's very important for people to know Dallas Medical Center has nothing to do with the Spot at Myra development. Dallas Medical Center is owned by Prime Healthcare. Prime Healthcare also was the original owner of the property that is in dispute in terms of the development. They're 2 separate things, and so please don't confuse the lack of progress on the Spot at Myra as a reflection upon Dallas Medical Center, because that would not be correct. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that. But regarding any other discussion about that, Market Space did provide a very detailed memo to us, excuse me, back in either late November, early December. Ben, I think you have a copy of that, and outlining where things stand.
Thanks for that context. And I wasn't referring to Market Space or Prime is the other one you mentioned. I just wasn't sure if there were any other developers that we on the council knew about and had provided that information to our economic development director so that she can have an appropriate conversation with them. And that's all I was asking. I wanted to make sure that we are vetting any and all options to try and recoup some of our money.
Okay, in order to answer that question, the 3 that have contacted me, I have not given their name to anybody, only because we're not in a position to do that at this point. That property is still owned by Market Space, and they have to work out their legal issue with Prime. My biggest concern as a mayor and a resident of Farmers Branch is recovering the $2.139 million that we spent on making drainage and street repairs to Medical Parkway. And so there is as the legal issue continues to work out, then we will be taking action to recover our money. Any other questions regarding that? Any other questions regarding the subject topic?
Yeah, I just want to add that it seems as though there may be some additional developer interest. And as, you know, this item is to provide some direction, and I might offer direction that you explore these other developer opportunities before we move forward with another presentation that's listed here with this building and whatnot. So that's all. But I also agree with the mayor that we need to see how we can reclaim these $2 million that we've had to put out of our pocket from the city. So that's the only advice I might give.
So, Councilman, the only thing that I would add to that, excuse me, is I think it would be premature for us to put something out or even have further discussion with other developers, because this property is privately owned and it is under, in the middle of a legal proceeding. I think the prudent thing for us to do is to wait to see who ends up in the long run.
And I'm okay with that. I just
Okay.
want to make sure when the appropriate time comes.
Absolutely.
That we approach other developers besides just the one that she's been made aware of. That's all. That's
Absolutely.
all I'm saying.
So, okay.
Thank you.
All right, anything else on that? Seeing none, okay. Moving right along. Item C7, receive an update from the mayor and council members regarding board liaison information from outside organizations and other meetings attended. Okay. Anything?
The Metro Crest Chamber of Commerce's board meeting is tomorrow, so I have no update until after tomorrow.
Very good.
Yeah, I'd just like to mention that I had a meeting with the Firehouse Theater Board of Directors during their monthly meeting, just mainly for introductions, so to speak, and just keeping that line of communication open as their liaison. So nothing really to report beyond that. So there is one issue with the property that I'll be taking up with Mr. William, the city manager, to get addressed, but otherwise, that's it.
Great. So I will report on things that I did, and I actually went off and left on my desk what I had written down, everything that has transpired, but I'm trying to look at my schedule to get most of it in here. So Metro Crest Chamber of Commerce did have their holiday party. I think there were close to 200 people that attended that event, and it was really, really fun. They had it at Millionaire, which is FBO at Addison Airport. And again, I think they did a great job of putting that together. There was a Metro Crest Chamber legislative send-off to discuss things that are going on in the legislature, and State Representative Rafael Anchia and our new representative, Cassandra Hernandez, were both in attendance and talked about things that they're looking to accomplish this coming session. And we'll have more on that coming up soon. Our Economic Development Department had a event at Bankhead Brewery, and one of the businesses that was there was a new restaurant coming to Farmers Branch, Senor Oink, and we got to meet and engage with the members of that restaurant, or the owners of the restaurant, and then everybody went over to the Firehouse Theater and took in a performance of Annie. The Dallas Regional Mobility Commission had their meeting, and I attend all of those. Obviously, transportation and regional transportation is of the utmost importance. Their goal is to try to help leverage their position and a collection of mayors to bring more money to the North Texas area for transportation-related projects. And so we continue to sit in on those and be a part of that. I did have a meeting at Envision Dallas with DART to discuss some type of modification to bus service serving Envision. And what was most surprising to me is after the meeting, we talked about how do we get people across or onto buses, paratransit, buses, whatnot, that are blind. And after the meeting, I'm walking out to my car, and here are 4 blind people. I have photos on my phone. 4 blind people standing on the north side of Valley View waiting to cross the road. 4 blind people trying to cross 7 lanes of traffic at 45. The speed limit's 45. There's people doing more than 45. I'm sorry, Chief, but there's a few. It was one of the most horrifying things that I've sat and watched. I actually got out of my car. I wasn't sure what to do. By this time, they had walked out in the roadway and got to the middle of the street. They're standing on the median. I picked up a phone, called Lucelli, who is the gentleman that I just finished meeting with, and I said, "You're not going to believe this," and told him what was happening. He goes, "That happens every day." Then I watched in horror as they tried to cross the rest of the roadway to get to the south side of the road, because that's where the eastbound bus picks up. And this just totally illustrated why we have to have DART's help to rework this traffic situation. Somebody is going to get killed there. And I'm surprised it didn't happen in front of my face. It was really something. So we are actively working on that with Envision, and DART is coming back with a plan to reroute bus service, so hopefully we can end anybody having to cross Valley View right there. I'd like to commend the Park and Rec Department for the many events that they put on, Santa and cookies and whatnot, pancakes and pajamas. I'm trying to think of what all I went to, but they did a great job over the holiday time, and it was so much fun. So, and thank you to all the residents who came out to these events. I'm looking to see, that's pretty much it. The bulk of my events really start on Thursday, and I'll have more to report at the next meeting. So, yes, sir.
I'd like to add thanks to Black Agave for hosting Coffee with a Cop.
Yep.
They graciously invited the firefighters to attend. It was an incredible event. It was a huge turnout by residents, huge turnout by both police and firefighters. It was a great opportunity for folks to meet our first responders and interact. So I want to thank you for being a partner. And as always, thanks to our first responders.
Thank you for mentioning that. That was, yep. And thanks to all the council that showed up for that. So that was really good. Okay, next up is C8, review and discuss future agenda items. Councilman Roman.
I don't have anything right now.
Councilman Bennett.
I don't have anything right now.
Councilman Reed.
Nothing at the moment.
Councilman Jackson.
Not at this time, Mayor.
Councilman Neal.
Yes, sir, I do have one thing that I'd like us to have a discussion about, and that is a review and possible adjustment to the notification areas when it comes to planning and zoning and the zoning board of adjustments. There's a notification area that's required by the state. I believe it's around 200 feet. I'd like to see if we could increase that to a little bit more. There's been several scenarios within P&Z as well as ZBA here in December that could have been aided if that notification area would have been expanded. So I'd like us to see, have a discussion about that and see where we could address that.
Great. I have three things, or, excuse me, four, actually. First is, I wanted to have a discussion on homeless, and the homeless situation in the encampments along 635. I've presented a report and presentation to the city manager on that. I do understand Housing Forward is coming to make a presentation to our council in February, so I'll wait till then, but I want to make sure that my presentation is part of that, or at least that I have time to review my presentation. The other thing involves three trips that I would like to attend. One is the U.S. Conference of Mayors. Second, and that's in June. The second is the MetroCrest Chamber of Commerce legislative tour of Austin. Chamber has invited the mayors from Addison, Carrollton, Farmers Branch, Coppell to go on this tour along with business owners. And so that will be taking place in February. And then the third is I've been invited to go to Envision, same as Envision that we have out here on Valley View Lane, Envision's corporate headquarters, Wichita, Kansas, to tour their facility and meet with them, possibly about moving some more work down here. And in addition, Boeing and Spirit Aerosystems have offices in Wichita. Envision has arranged for me to have a meeting with executives at Spirit. Spirit also has a small operation here in Farmers Branch. It does subassembly work for Boeing. And so, and if in case you don't know, Advanced Composites and Structures, which is also located here in Farmers Branch, is right next to Spirit over on Valley Branch Lane. And so they're all working together. We'd like to get more work moved down to Farmers Branch. And so if I do that, that would be in February sometime. And so I'm making a request to council to go on those 3 visits. That's all I have.
Mayor, may I? I apologize.
Yes, ma'am.
I did a tour of my district, and I know that I had requested of you a tour of all the districts of all of us together before strategic planning so we can be on the same page. I was wondering if any of the other council members might be interested in doing that, and we could open that up to the public to kind of tag along and join.
So that is correct. You did copy me on that, and I have no issue with that. I think it helps if we can get the whole council together to do something. Obviously, we'd have to post this as a meeting, and we would have to make seats available to the public to also attend, but there won't be a way for us to live stream or video the event. So what we can do is look for a date to do that, and maybe city manager can have that discussion with each one of us in one-on-ones, and then come up with the date most acceptable and look to do that. And it could be on us, I would assume it could be on a Saturday also, if need be. So, Ben, can you facilitate that? Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. That is all of our study session items, and we do have an executive session item that still needs a little further discussion. So we will adjourn, well, we'll recess our meeting so we can go back to executive session. When we finish that, well, then we'll come back out here and announce any action that needs to be taken. But again, thank you all for coming this evening. Happy New Year to everybody. And hopefully we'll see most of you all, if not all of you, back on the 21st for Don Smith. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for bearing with us. We did have executive session this evening, but there's no action to take as a result of executive session. So with that, we will adjourn our meeting at 7:56 this evening. Thank you very much.